Sierra Oscar Foxtrot, this is 614. Status check on podcast. I'll copy over.
614, this is Sierra Oscar Foxtrot. Roger, copy all. Podcast going live. Time now.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Sierra Oscar Foxtrot podcast. I am your host, Brian Stanfill, and with me today is the famous Robert Lee, the one I keep talking about, that you've never met before unless you watch some of the videos. Here he is in person. Bam.
Hello.
Brought to you, courtesy of Sierra Oscar Foxtrot podcast and the Veteran Treatment Corps. Without them, really, this wouldn't happen.
No, it would not.
Same. So, tell people out there who are watching, please, a little about yourself.
My name is Robert Lee. I'm currently going through Veterans Treatment Court for a little disagreement with with law enforcement. Veterans Treatment Court has helped me quite a bit. I've got some very famous mentors. Without them, I wouldn't have made it the last year, and I appreciate them all very much. I've ran into little bits of problems. My house has deteriorated from work that was never done on it.
Yes. Well, here's a question.
Yes.
Why the Army? I know you started in the Navy. They were like, the eyes aren't so good.
Yeah.
So you hopped on over to the Army. Why the military service?
I guess patriotic, a job. I always wanted to be in the military. One turned me down, so another one took me in.
There you go. And you always would have had the Marines as a backup to the backup.
No, I would not have.
What? No?
No, I would not have.
I thought, you pick your sandbag up at the door and you just walk on out.
I couldn't pass the physical, couldn't get my head in the jar.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, so your time in the Army, how many years did you spend there?
I spent 6 years in the Army.
6 years. What'd you do?
I was first off started as a transport operator, 64 Charlie. And then I got into computer programming, and then ended up as a combat medic.
Okay, nice. So you were the guy with the Motrin.
I was one taking the Motrin.
Oh, well, that's a technique. So it's been a long time since you've been in the Army.
I've been out since 89.
89.
February 17th of 89.
That's just after the Berlin Wall went down.
It was.
Wow. You were like, well, no more Cold War. I'm out.
It was still pretty cold when I was out.
Was it?
It was still pretty cold.
So, I know, and as some of the viewers might know through the micromentary, because that's what I call it, that's my phrase, please spread it. Let everybody know micromentary is a usable word. Documentary, that's so overplayed, documentary. So, but a lot of people know, you've had a lot of problems, a lot of loss in your life. And that's really caused you to kind of take a path
that I didn't want to take. That I kind of stumbled onto.
I guess, or just you just left for all intents and purposes, just left it to be what it was. I guess. You had good days, you had bad days.
I haven't had too many good days. Not recently. No.
Recently,
last 25 years have not really been in contact. Lost my wife and daughter January 12th of 1997. Since then, life's pretty much been a fog.
Yeah.
And it's especially Sunday coming up, Mother's Day. That's really going to be hard.
Yeah. Totally understand. You kind of hermited yourself away. You got a job, though.
I do have a job. I worked vampire shift, third shift. That way I don't see many people.
Okay.
I might see 4 or 5 people a night. That's it.
It's by design.
is by design, yes.
So
Not a very high-paying job, but I took it because I wouldn't be around people that much.
and then you found a passion for dogs.
I did,
So
and took care of them very well too.
yeah, but even at some point, I mean, there's still beyond your means, maybe the capabilities. Would you have kept collecting dogs? Let's say?
If I found them and I saw they were suffering, yes.
How many would you say would be too many?
I was pretty much at that point. I mean, like I said, I had 25 when I ran into the trouble I did.
Yeah.
I had just gotten 7 of them right before I ran into the trouble I did. The ones I had, I was managing. The ones I had just collected were bigger dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But I was buying 200 pounds of dog food a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was expensive, but
Yeah.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, so that's where my passion money went.
Yeah. How long have you been sober?
I've been sober since September 4th, 2003.
Okay. Awesome.
September 4th,
Yeah.
2003.
I know alcohol was a big thing for you.
yeah, it was a real big thing for me. I mean, it didn't help either.
So what changed that? What was the point where you're like, you know what, I'm chucking the bottle?
I almost committed suicide.
Okay.
I had a Glock 9mm, and sometimes I would just, put it under my chin and just squeeze the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Just see how far down I could squeeze it. And September 4th, I'm sitting out in the backyard and I'm squeezing the trigger, and the trigger went all the way down. And I heard the hammer click. I mean, the hammer hit the bullet, but the bullet didn't go off. And that gun never misfired.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of was my wife and daughter stopped it. And the very next day, gave the gun away. Wish I would have sold it. It was an expensive gun.
Yeah.
And I quit drinking. 2 days because my wife's birthday was September 6th. My daughter's was September 8th.
Okay.
So 2 days before their birthdays, I quit drinking, quit smoking. I haven't had a drink or cigarette since.
You know, that's an amazing story, and I wish, as we do suffer with the 22 a day, if there was almost more divine intervention, we could say, I mean, how less that number would drop, and I know that's got to be tough because you're kind of recounting it now. It's coming back to you, reliving the moments.
It is a little bit tough.
Yeah, and I do appreciate, and we appreciate listening to it, because the story that you're telling us, your story, is definitely something that's going to influence these other people out there.
I hope it does. I hope it helps somebody. I mean, that's the only thing, that even brings any kind of joy to me, is if I can help somebody else. I mean, I don't have too much, going on in my life besides that.
Yeah. Well, now, I mean, things are looking up. We do got the help of the Veteran Treatment Corps. We have the help of Veteran Harbor now, to which you are now eternally associated with.
Yes, I am.
You can never leave.
Like Hotel California.
Exactly. So, and we appreciate the greatest gift of all, a place for healing, not just for yourself, but for others. And we are going to put forth, a huge effort to get this place back up and running to the time that you remember growing up, seeing all your loved ones here.
Yeah.
And that's
I appreciate that.
That's a big thing. But obviously, we're at a rock bottom and nowhere to go but up.
Right.
It's an important point to mention too, that this new situation is going to be dedicated to the memory of his mother and his wife and his daughter.
Definitely.
and that we hope that in the long-term plan there will be available a kennel to house dogs, especially for those those veterans who are going to inpatient care who have a dog. They'll have a safe place where they can leave the dog while they're in inpatient care. So,
One of the things that we hope to do is to align ourselves with one of those veteran pet-friendly companies or organizations out there who might be up for maybe having a satellite location, because we have over just about an acre of land here.
Yes.
Which is awesome, because that gives us a lot of maneuverability, the ability to not just take care of some guys who are staying here for some programs, but to do the kennel, to have other organizations come here and help as well. So if anybody's listening out there who knows a guy, we're like, man, I got all these dogs, I don't know what to do with, or something like that, then go ahead, reach out, Veteran Harbor. We'll be happy to have a great discussion on that aspect. What I'd like to do, I think we should at this point, is probably go and just kind of look around. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. What do you remember walking up in here?
Well, my mom and dad bought this house in 1976.
Okay.
We moved down. We were originally from Alexandria, Virginia. That's where I was born and raised.
1976. So, you picture that day when you walked up these steps the first time?
I really never liked North Carolina that
What?
much.
Oh my God.
Maybe I shouldn't be saying that.
Well, that's all right. I'm sure only a small fraction of people are from North Carolina.
I was a
Some
born
are
and
probably
heart
not
northerner. And when my mom and dad bought this house, it was different.
So here we are. This is kind of where the magic happens, so to speak.
I guess you could say that.
But now what I do love is what you got on the walls. Some amazing stuff you got on the walls.
From a lot of travelers. My wife loved to collect plates.
Yeah.
And she loved to collect plates.
So what year was it again you guys moved down here?
1976 is when we bought this house.
Okay. And that's where your mom and dad lived?
Yes.
Okay.
That's pictures of my mom and dad when they were young.
Gotcha. Okay.
Pictures of my mom on the wall.
Yeah. So 76. You didn't get here until 80.
Well, I moved down here with them because, but I went into the military because I was not a fan of NC.
Yeah.
I loved my hometown, Alexandria, Virginia, but you just couldn't breathe up there anymore. Congestion, traffic,
Gotcha.
politicians.
Okay.
Good time to move.
Now, I think last time we were here, we did look in one of the other rooms, and it looked like you had a bed in there. That was the one that the dog was in.
Yeah, that's the one in there.
Yeah, that one. It still got a bed and the dog?
Oh, yeah, the dog's still in there on the bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
That's his bed.
that's his bed. Okay, so he sleeps there and you sleep here.
Well, no, he sleeps out here. He's just in there today because he's not people friendly.
I get that. Now,
they traumatized him.
so here's my question, is why not have the bed in that room with him?
Because we could not break the bed apart.
Oh,
We could not figure out how to break the bed apart.
gotcha. Is this a new development?
No.
So is the roof leaking?
My mom and dad, they re-roofed it.
Okay.
It was leaking at one point, but
How long ago was that point?
well, it was after my dad passed away. My dad passed away in '95. My mom had it re-roofed probably
Okay.
2000.
I'm trying to figure out why it looks the way it does. Looks like somebody attempted to start a paint.
I did,
Okay,
and then I stopped.
and you stopped. Why? Ran out of paint?
No, I start to do something and I just get frustrated. It's just like I just.
overwhelming?
It's strange doing stuff. I don't know, without my wife and daughter being here. I just stop. Stuff, it just doesn't seem right.
Sort of what's the point?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I did paint the walls. I mean, you know.
it wasn't lived before it was red.
Well, when I was arrested, there was nothing in here besides that, and nothing else was in here. It was a dog pen.
Okay.
I had 4 big dogs in this room. I had the kitchen blocked off with a cabinet. I had that room blocked off with a cabinet.
Okay.
This was just where I had my bigger dogs at. The ones, they weren't aggressive, but they played too hard with the smaller dogs. So I had 4 big dogs in here. I mean, the dogs in here were probably about,
Yeah.
I have no idea what kind of dogs they were. They were nice dogs.
Gotcha.
But
So, the other issue we've got, you know, when it comes to thinking about how we're going to fix this guy, a lot of things, you know, we're going to have to definitely knock down the drywall, probably have to re-insulate.
yeah, because I don't think there was any insulation in this house at all. Either.
No, because this house was built when, like what, 50s?
Yeah.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been. Insulation didn't come around, I believe, until the 60s.
Because I think that's, isn't that
Other than
not fiberglass?
ceiling insulation.
Yeah.
They used to run, you know, the
Well,
old
we do have,
stuff.
my mom and dad put ceiling insulation.
Yeah.
too.
Back then, that was like all they had.
Corn husk, horse hair,
Yeah.
nothing.
People, you know, shove people in the walls.
Yeah.
They insulate them.
Cousin.
Yeah. That's why they had many children, you know. Boy, stand up next to that wall. There's a crack there and get a draft, you know.
My generation, it was to hold the radiators for the TV.
There you go. Yeah. You only had 3 channels, but you know, you want a clear picture on that, you know, black and white. The floors original. They held up pretty good, I think.
It did. I mean, it's solid.
Here anyway.
I mean, the
And
floor in the
there's a
kitchen's
whole
pretty
other
low
story.
gone.
Yeah. All right. So walk me through, like, let's say if we're gonna renovate, okay?
Right.
Tell me what you see being renovated. I mean, like talk to me, like start naming things up. What do we gotta do to
Well,
get this
I know. Yeah. The ceiling has to be redone. I know the walls have to be redone. I know the floors in certain rooms have to be redone.
I think you've got some structural issues in the kitchen. We'll go take a look at that. In fact, let's go ahead. Let's
No, you can't get far in because
Yeah.
I start to do something and I just,
Well, now you've got help. You've got people.
like you see, I got it stuffed blind.
Yeah.
Watch the whole floor.
Would we want to open this fridge?
That's perjurable.
Got a lot of milk. Are you actively using this as a fridge?
Yes.
Okay.
And see, I buy gallons of
Things are
milk
cold.
and then I never use them.
All right. So here's my recommendation. Let's throw these things away.
Well, they are out of date.
Yes. So.
I got one that's.
Do you drink milk?
I do. But like I said, I buy it and then I just don't use it.
Okay.
He also has problems trying to get groceries to the house because all he has is a bicycle.
Yes. I got it. All right. And I understand like this. How are you feeling right now?
Normal.
Well, what is normal though? I mean, stand closer to me because I worry about that place.
Oh, I'm not falling through. No, I struggle every day.
Sure.
I mean, I struggle every day.
Sure.
I mean, especially Mother's Day coming up someday. I struggle every day. I mean, I'm trying to make it through as best I can. And the only reason why I'm trying is because I know that's what my wife and daughter would want. I mean, but it's hard every day.
Yeah. So now that we're here, and we're here to help, does that give you any sense of relief?
I mean, it gives me a lot of sense of relief. You know, knowing what's the house is going to be, you know, what the purpose of it's going to be, and knowing it's going to help other people. You know, my wife was a Buddhist.
But the question is knowing that it's going to help you.
It's going to help me.
You know,
I know.
And
Because
does that give you any relief?
it does.
Good.
I mean, it gives me more relief than I've had in a long time.
Because there might still be some hard pain, you know, that you're going to have to go through because we got to get all this crap out. And I say that in a general term.
Oh, I know.
Some definitely in a literal term. But seriously, though, we, you know, and it's these little regimented processes that I think you are going to have to start doing yourself.
Oh, I know.
So, sir, I challenge you to your first regimented process. You ready?
Yes.
If
Empty the fridge.
If it's not edible, let's take it out. Okay?
Which is pretty much everything.
Well then, chuck it all. You know, no sense having nasty food in there. But that's our first thing because I would like to, when we look at renovating, focus on the kitchen and the bathrooms first.
Okay.
Okay.
So declutter this.
Yeah. Let's get rid of pretty much everything. And that's the other thing. You've got a lot of things, figurines, a lot of, you know, stuff on the walls and stuff. Because like that's coming apart. We got to take this whole. We need a whole new kitchen in here, and we're gonna have to rip the flooring up. I'm guessing that we'll have to redo the joist. I feel like we're treading very dangerously on this because
Things are leaning.
this thing could give way.
Yeah.
I really am a firm believer that we've got our work set up,
Hmm.
don't we? All right, well, awesome. Let's go ahead and check out some of the other rooms. Just be very careful. We got a big hole in the floor. I have to look back at my pictures, but I feel like there was less stuff in here last time.
There was.
So why is there more stuff in here?
Because as I was decluttering these other two rooms.
You're moving stuff into this one.
Yes.
So this is the bathroom.
That's the bathroom.
Now the cool thing is we got some new toilets, so we can chuck these guys. Cracking in the walls. How's the ceiling in there?
The ceiling's good shape in there.
Okay, cool. And the light works, so that's
Yes.
good too.
It's the only place I've got electricity. That's why I have to plug this in because there's none of the outlets in here work.
Gotcha. All right, let's go on to the next room. Aha!
I told you it had no bone structure.
Never underestimate the will of a Green Beret.
You want to get that, you know,
Make anything happen. Yeah, come on in.
That's the main reason why I haven't done anything in there because I could never get the door open far enough.
That's true, it is challenging. So you got no window going on in here.
Oh no, there's definitely no window.
Windows. So, you know, you've got a lot of amazing collectibles. The question is, are they still in good enough condition? Like, could we get a guy to come take a look at these things for maybe resale or auction? Obviously not cleaning you out entirely, but I mean...
No, a lot of it can go, yeah.
All right. Because this is definitely like would be one of the big rooms I think would be worthwhile. Having somebody come in here, like you got Dale Earnhardt in here.
Yeah, an actual piece of his tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see some Egyptian stuff, which is cool. I don't think the drum thing's gonna
No.
value really high. But got some roof stuff going on. Obviously with all the humidity coming in, the moisture is not helping too much. So, all right, cool beans. Let's go ahead and make our way to the next room. All right.
My wife's collection of cookbooks.
Okay.
Small part of it.
A small part of the collection of cookbooks.
My wife had a big collection of cookbooks.
Now, granted, they were your wife's collection.
Yes.
I like that
Yeah, I forgot he was in here.
Yes.
My wife loved collecting. I mean, because the detail on those.
Now,
Somebody carved.
do you think that your wife had these cookbooks because they were a collection, or was it that she was using them to cook with?
She was using them to cook with.
Okay. So, and that's a good delineator. We should say it wasn't a collection. She was just using them to cook with.
Right.
And now they're not being used to cook with. And a lot of, obviously, you get to a point where this is no longer good.
It still got the tablature in it.
It's still got what?
I play guitar a lot,
Oh, okay.
so still got
I see.
music.
Now what,
It's just
You
the
got a-
dog chewed up the front.
now you have a smartphone, right?
Yes.
What if we could turn these into the digital app smartphone? I'm sure there's something out there that has the music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you had it where it's easily done at a touch of your fingertips and you can read the notes, then that really does get away and eliminate
Yes.
some of this stuff. Is that something that would work?
It would.
Yeah. So that way, nowadays the newspaper industry is dying. The magazine industry is dying because everything's at the touch of your fingertips on these cool phones. It's all digital. And that would help, actually, I don't know, sir. She's pretty busty.
She was.
That helps too.
But, so we got things like that. Electric fireplace thing, does that work?
It does.
Do you use it?
No.
Okay. So then, that's a good, also.
Yeah.
If you don't use it, let's check it. Because like I said, there's only so much room. I am still in the works. We're trying to get a new motorhome thing. Oh, you got a sleigh bed thing going.
That's a beautiful piece right there. That probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, my neighbors gave that to me
Okay.
about 5-6 months ago.
Well, then you don't need my bed.
That could be a present for someone.
All right. Now look at this. This is definitely serious. We've got actual studs rotted away. In order to get to this stuff, like I said, everything's got to come out. We got to find a way. So the question is, when can we get started? That's really what it's gonna come down to. It's like, how soon can we get started? And I hope, every day, you're picking away at it.
Yeah.
Even if you spent an hour a day, that'd be enough to do it, right?
Like I said, I started doing that, but every time I find something I hadn't seen in a long time, just.
Okay. You gotta keep your eye on the prize, though. So, the efforts that's gonna have to go into this is obviously huge.
Right.
It's gonna take. It's gonna be tough on you, and I totally acknowledge that. And the question is, how do we rip off the Band-Aid?
Fast as possible is the best way, I guess.
Maybe. I'm just a Green Beret guy. I'm not a psychologist or anything. Although I've been watching some shows.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
And I slept at Holiday Inn Express. So,
That's the combo.
Exactly.
As you can see, my grass has gotten a little bit high.
Yeah. We gotta fix this.
The only thing I've got back here that, I've got my DVD collection in here. I got
Okay.
about 8,000 DVDs.
Gotcha. Now, what would you think about using this guy as a place for your dog while we do the inside the house renovation?
That would work.
Okay.
As you can see, I got quite a few DVDs.
What do you want to do with these DVDs?
I want to keep them. I mean, it took me a long time to get these.
I get it.
They're all deranged.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
all A to B. Those are all complete collections. All the Harry Potters, all the James Bonds.
Could be.
Do you remember these movies?
Some of them.
Some of them.
I've probably watched maybe 10% of them. I just like collecting.
Okay.
It's just my little passion.
I get it. So here's what I would ask though, because this is something that you got to ask yourself. You like collecting, but at the same time, what are you collecting? You know, what is the retail value of some of these movies? Some of these are bad movies. You know, you got to admit some of these are just horrible movies.
Oh yeah.
You know, and maybe it's
as
just
cheesy
like,
as you can get.
Exactly. Maybe some of it, like the Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
The book was way better than
Oh, I
the
know.
movies. So maybe something like that, you know, getting rid of Starship Troopers because nobody wants to watch that again. You know, it's like if we start small, start easy.
Yeah.
Because obviously, as nice as a monument of your collecting capabilities as this is, it's not a sustainable thing. I would recommend that we put your efforts elsewhere. You know.
Right.
Because if we need to make this place suitable for your dog, he's going to tear this stuff up.
Yeah.
So if we start to, you know, take this stuff down, I don't know if we can necessarily fit all these DVDs into boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Then where are we going to put the boxes, you know? So just think of it that way. If it's a movie that you're like, man, I saw this, it sucked, let's get rid of the DVD.
Right.
I'm just, you know, and what do you think about that?
Some of them I could get rid of. Yeah, I agree.
Like Starship Troopers. The first movie was like probably the best one
Yeah.
because it had, you know, the shower scene. But other than that, I mean,
Pretty much sucked.
the book was way better. So there we go. And that's obviously we got. I think the Rome series was pretty good. I agree. Some of these movies and some of these series was pretty good. You know, so let's focus. And that's something else we're gonna have to sit down and we're gonna have to figure out where do we start. Because yeah, it's very overwhelming. We're walking from point to point to point on this property and we're seeing, well, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs. Easily you can get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Trust me, I got like 5 ongoing projects at the house, right? And you can walk out and be like, wow, you know, I gotta trim out the driveway. I've got to finish, you know, the interior stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy. So isolating one particular project at a time. So we'll work on that until we can get as a prep to getting a bigger crew in here to help with this. And if you work on that every day.
Okay.
So let's walk out here. I'm gonna come in here with my dump trailer. And there's a vehicle I didn't even know you had. Where did that guy come from? And how did he get there? And how did he end up staying there?
It's a looper. Is
I
there
mean,
anything in it?
I want to
Oh,
look.
no.
Is there a pair of ruby slippers underneath that? A rolled up piece of feet, you know?
It could be.
So if we work from the outside in, or we hit it from both angles. If you work from the inside,
Yeah.
and I work from the outside, then we can meet in the middle.
You know, I can probably get some people to come out. I was thinking that I might see if I can arrange, you know, a day a week
Yeah.
or 2 days a month to come out here, just dedicated to coming out here and working and grabbing hopefully some of the other mentors to come out. And with saws and
Yeah.
hammers, and I have to remember I'm almost 76 years old, but I can still do some stuff. I could point.
You can point. There you go. I mean, when you got out, what rank were you?
I was just there. Oh yeah, Buckside.
Oh, there you go. So you got the NCO in you. That's what you do.
That's carried me through my whole life.
Command stance.
Yeah.
And you point. And you're like, hey, that, you know?
Anything that's threatening.
Exactly.
Now, is that yours?
That building?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
That's yours too. So
yeah,
this
it
is
goes all the
yours.
way back to that wall.
That building, that building.
Always going up.
This is not a property. This is an estate.
1 acre estate.
And that's full of stuff, right?
That's full of hornets right now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we have a fire. So that's got a lot of stuff in it. But is any do you think anything's in that building inside of it?
Most of that stuff is my mom's.
Okay.
Most of the stuff in that building is my wife and daughter's.
Okay.
That's where the stuff.
Now, when you're talking stuff, not necessarily things.
I mean, yeah.
It's just their daily what they use.
My
to
mom,
have.
it's like. Well, I can show you.
No. You don't want to go.
Yeah, my mom's clothes and stuff like that.
Okay.
I've got a lot of I've got a big collection of war books.
Okay.
I mean, combat, history. I got some of them up there on that wall.
Gotcha.
I mean, just
Now-
dictionaries, encyclopedias of warfare.
Oh, yeah. Now, obviously, you have full access to this place 24/7. If I said challenge this, all right, without going into these places,
Yeah.
you write down from your memory of things that you want to keep, having total detachment of anything else in there.
Right.
Could you do that?
I can do that.
And then, could you see people walk in there with garbage bags and walk out with garbage bags, never knowing what's in these garbage bags, but knowing that on your list of things to keep, those are definitely coming out and coming to you?
That's fine.
Okay, because I think some of this will have to be a more rapid process, and I think these outer buildings are definitely that, because I feel like you keep the more important things closer to you in the main place.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I am preparing an idea of how to work from the outside, and you've got initial task of fridge first from the inside, and from the fridge, you're throwing away all obvious trash that's on the floor. You know, and we'll write these down. We'll have written tasks with little boxes that you have to check. You know, 'cause that works. That's the
Like
best
little
way
boxes.
that works for me. You know what else is
In
cool?
mom's thing.
I'm so excited. I'm getting a mini excavator. And I want to come in here and it'll be like, it'll have googly eyes on the side.
Mm.
We're going to play the Jurassic Park music.
I'm
And
getting one of those.
it's going to like pick things out. He's like, "Brr," you know, and oh, it's going to be cool. It's so cool. And then he's going to have his friend, you know, it'll be a site Sarah skid steer.
Yeah.
Yep. The horns coming out and its mouth will open up and he'll grab things and
We could get one of those big.
it'll be a buffet.
Big things that you push in front of you that's got the mower stuff to get down
Oh, yeah.
the higher stuff.
Now with that, I have to bring the riding lawnmower guy.
If I heard a lawnmower, I was able to get through it.
Oh, I turn it. It's my bush hog. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I run over a lot of crap with that thing. Trust me.
That's good. Push ups are good.
Yes,
Okay.
but that'll help that. And then we got the little weed whacker guy that push behind, you know, and stuff like
That's what I was
that.
saying.
Oh, that's what you do. Do you have a lawnmower or anything to that effect? No. Huh?
yeah.
Oh, there you
But
Does it work?
probably need the spark plugs
No.
changed all
Okay.
No, it's been locked up for a while.
Okay.
What we can do pretty easily is get a couple of small lawnmowers dedicated, donated,
Yeah.
that we can just keep out here and just use them till they fry up.
All right. So, task to the viewers. We could use a lawnmower. A little guy. Maybe a bigger guy if you want. But definitely an operable lawnmower would definitely help this place. So if anybody's got one that's just kind of hanging out in the corner and you laugh at it and make fun of it and it's got, you know, low self-esteem, you know, bring it over here.
Push mower's fine.
Yeah. So what you thinking?
My mind's always going.
What's the first thought in your mind?
I mean, I'd like to see. You know, I know you got a lot of possibilities, and I know you guys are going to do the best way you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little overwhelming.
It is. I agree. I acknowledge full heart. It's overwhelming, but we're just talking right now. We haven't done anything yet, and the doing is gonna come in little bits,
Right.
manageable bits. And the more you do, the easier and more manageable I think it's going to be.
I just have,
What's that?
well, you know, I'm going through therapy right now because I have severe panic attacks.
Sure.
And it's just sometimes I'm going through the house and I find something, and it messes me up for that.
Okay. So what would work best for you? More of a detached approach?
No,
Or-
I know it's got to be done. There's just, some days that I was, going through the house and finding things I hadn't seen in a long time.
Sure.
And it would just floor me.
I get you.
It would just floor me.
Well, just know, this is a community effort. This is our effort. We're gonna bring this place back to what it used to be, and that's the key. But it starts with you.
I know.
And I'm glad that you're getting the help you need, and you got people to talk to.
Right.
Gordon will let you call him like 2 in the morning.
I'll be mad if he doesn't.
Just
I'll
ask
call
him.
him.
Just always start off with what you're wearing.
Yeah. We can always adjust depending on our mood.
That's what I'm afraid to ask him.
Well, I think we've got a really good walkthrough. We've seen a lot, and you've told and you've shared, and that's a big thing. This is our first step. We've got a sign for Veteran Harbor. We'll leave it here. It's to figure out how to get it up on something more permanent.
I've been trying to figure out how to get it up there.
Doing blue pills. We'll put one stem in the ground.
We'll say somewhere in there is a blue pill. You're gonna have to take all the garbage out to find it. Okay. But I appreciate everything that you've done.
Appreciate what you guys are doing for me. I really do.
And I think that's all we got. I think for Sierra Oscar Foxtrot podcast. Like, subscribe, follow. This is going to be an interesting and amazing path, a journey to get the very first Veteran Harbor House up and running. I'm Brian Stanfill.
I'm Robert Lee.
Bam. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Please like and follow so you can stay in the know for the next one.